Hello. Hello there. This is Johnny Knobs from your number one partner, Austin. I want to congratulate you first on your 200th episode of your podcast, No Focus.
Well, we're not quite there yet, guys, but Gary Busey
Yes.
is wishing us a happy 200th episode.
That's nice.
Wow,
Pretty good.
Mr.
Yeah.
Joshua himself. Gotta love it.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we'll be right back, everybody.
The Fresno Focus Radio Hour. This is the No Focus Radio Hour. Comedy and insight from the greatest minds in Fresno. A Lightomine Media production.
Uh-oh, I'm back. All right. This is the No Focus Radio Hour, the number one independent podcast in the Central Valley. Thank you for listening, and thank you for telling a friend. The No Focus Radio Hour is available anywhere podcasts can be found, including Audible, YouTube, and your home smart speakers. We're also on Rumble sometimes. Remember to subscribe and leave a review. It does help others to discover our show. And while you are reviewing, keep in mind that 5 stars is the correct number of stars. If you enjoy our show, please share it with your friends. But if you hate it, share it with your enemies. Check out our site, nofocusradio.com, for exclusive content. Find us on social media. Our handle everywhere is at nofocusradio. Find the rest of our stuff at lightomindmedia.com. I did it.
Be with you, you know it's true. And you know just what I got to do.
Ooh, what do you got to do?
Hit the ground running. Running to my favorite podcast.
Oh, where's that at?
Hit the ground running. Running to Fresno, California.
Woo. In Fresno.
In Fresno.
So good, so good. That's right. This is the No Focus Radio Hour, the number one independent podcast in the Central Valley. It's made for those who live in the Central Valley, for those who miss the Central Valley, those who long to live in the Central Valley, and for those who
Love to drive down Christmas Tree Lane with their high beams on in the Central Valley.
Yikes.
That hurts.
You know, we don't have our usual cast of characters, but we do have a pretty familiar cast of characters.
Kind of sort of familiar.
Yeah. For our listeners out there, you do know, of course, you know the Doorman.
Yes. Hey, Fresno. How are you doing? A little chilly nowadays, huh?
It's getting chilly.
Yeah.
The studio, I think, is a pretty comfortable temperature.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah?
studio is good. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's so
Not as good as it could be if everybody would buy us a cup of coffee.
Oh, yeah,
Very
coffee
true.
would
And
be nice.
we could keep the heat on.
You know where you can do that?
Sure.
Where?
NoFocusRadio.com. There's a link right there.
There you go.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Clever.
We also have with us, you know him from Pardon The Intermission. Yeah, I always forget. Do you have a nickname? We call him Jason.
Yeah, what was your nickname last time?
You know, honestly, I don't
I
remember
think
my
we
nickname.
make it up all
Jam
the
and
time.
Jay or something? What do we
You know,
call
I
you?
don't know. I have one of those first names that's very hard to attach a moniker or a nickname to. It's
Yeah.
like Jason. It's not like Al, where you can call me Big Al or
Oh.
Double A or anything
I like Jam and
that.
Jay.
So
I like.
What do you like?
We have Jason, the movie reviewer.
Oh!
I'm willing to live with that for now. Thanks. That'll work. That'll work.
Then we'll have a segment. We'll have a segment for
Or
you.
you can call
Yeah.
me Jazzy J, or do a rip off and go LL Cool J.
Oh, there you
whatever
go.
works best. Yeah.
Super Cool Jay. How
Super
about
cool.
that?
Super cool J.
That's what
I
we
like
have.
that.
You know, we don't
Super-
have
super
we
cool.
don't have Marty Stu this
Yes,
today.
stupid asso.
He
Is he
said,
still giving prostate exams out there on Shaw Avenue?
yeah, that's what he said. Well, he went out there
Free
This
prostate.
time it's out.
Free prostate
This
exams.
time he's doing Christmas exams though,
Christmas
out off
exams.
Christmas Tree Lane.
Okay, all right.
So
Oh.
yeah, he's crazy. This is so cool.
Right.
True story though. He's playing the role of Santa Claus, and if you
Oh, there you go.
yeah, and so he's doing if you whisper in his ear when you sit on his lap that you need the special exam.
That's what all you want for Christmas
All
is
you
a
want for
prostate
Christmas.
exam.
He'll say, "What do you want for Christmas?" And you say it like a prostate exam. Stu will give you a prostate exam.
Oh,
Nice.
That's what I call a stocking stuffer.
Yeah. Oh, wait a second.
There we go.
There it is.
Jazzy J coming in
nice.
hard.
Oh, well, his
coming.
Oh, okay.
That's right. I'm on a roll, folks.
he has a special fan club out there, Stu, from what I hear, and they're
That's what we heard.
they're gonna miss him. They're gonna miss him. Sorry, folks, you got us. You don't have
got us
Stu
today.
Pedassa today. Wait, On the other side of the mic, we have the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Johnny Knobs.
Hey, everybody. How's it going today?
So, Johnny.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Stu had just texted me, and he says, hey, I'm giving out free prostate exams if you don't know. Everybody wants them for Christmas.
Yeah.
But there's a guy that also asked me while I was examining him, how did Johnny get his name?
You know, it's a true story. It's a very, very true story.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, in a small village, I lived, and my name was Jonathan. I was renowned? Yes. People knew me as Johnny Knobs. Now, my fame didn't come from music or physical powers, you see. It came from my extraordinary ability to control time. Now, one day, disaster struck, and our village's clock tower malfunctioned, and time froze, leaving everyone in confusion and panic. Recognizing the urgency, I sprung into action. With my gentle touch and precise adjustments, I restored the clock tower, setting time back in motion.
Wow.
Now the village rejoiced as life regained its rhythm. And my name, Johnny Knobs, echoed through the streets. But why was I called Johnny Knobs? Well, it's because my touch on the clock's knobs symbolized my power over time itself. And my reputation grew, and people sought my assistance to harmonize the flow of their lives. With a twinkle in my eye, I would say, you see, it's not just about controlling time. It's about controlling the volume of each precious moment, ensuring every second counts. And so the name Johnny Knobs became synonymous with my ability to orchestrate the symphony of time, conducting the ever-changing melody of life. Because I controlled the volume.
Wow, that
Did
story.
you guys know that?
That story was as cohesive as Gary Busey in the beginning of the show, wishing us a happy 200th episode.
You know what's funny is that this, we were going on a roll. Like a couple of these AI written stories were pretty solid at first.
Yeah.
And now they're just getting really bad.
Yeah, it's that whole repeating thing, right? With AI, it like repeats and repeats.
The first one was awesome, and then I'm just getting the same sort of stuff over and over again. Jeez. Okay, hey, big thing, guys. This is big news. Last time we said we had a special guest on the show.
Yes.
Named Gary Busey, and here he is. This is really him. I'm not kidding. You can go to our our social media. You'll see this video.
And you'll see him. And this is thanks to Austin Waltz,
who's a good friend of Gary Busey,
Fire Creek gold guy.
Yeah, really good friend.
I think he gave
Gary
me some
Busey.
of that gold from the Fire Creek to do this.
Good friend of the show, Gary Busey, just sent
goes.
us.
Here
Just
we
so you
go.
guys know, me, Austin, and Gary Busey, we go way back. We did an old movie. Yeah, we did a movie together.
You were in Buddy Holly, weren't you?
Yeah, we did Buddy Holly.
Buddy
together.
Holly
Okay,
story.
Buddy Holly
story.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Buddy Holly, and I played
the drummer.
The drummer. Yeah, Dick Van
Winkle.
Schwinkenschwein. So
Dick Van Dusseldorf?
Pegasus.
So can you imagine the guy you're about to the man you're about to listen to actually played Buddy Holly. Just think
And
that as you're watching.
He was nominated for an Academy Award,
yes,
no less.
That's right.
Yes.
So this man, Academy Award nominated. Friend of the show, Gary Busey.
Hello there. This is Johnny Knobs from your number one partner, Austin. I want to congratulate you first on your 200th episode of your podcast. Wow. No Focus.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I hear you like to design words with the vowels, A-E-I-O-U, that's in the word.
Huh? Okay.
For instance, crayon. You pronounce crayon, crayon. That's beautiful. That's
beautiful.
Great. That's original.
Crayon or crying?
Beautiful.
And the reason Austin says you will never find creek fire gold is because Austin doesn't know where it is.
Uh-oh.
You know?
You know?
So, you love circus peanuts. And Austin tells me you can't control, you have trouble controlling the volume of your voice.
Oh, yeah, true,
Well,
true.
I'll tell you what to do.
Whoa.
He had a stroke right there.
Uncomfortable
Next time you're
pause.
talking to someone, whisper.
Oh,
And that will bring the listener closer to you.
okay.
He can hear you better.
Yeah. Whisper.
And
Oh, goodness.
Wow.
make sure you brush your teeth
Oh.
before you get them closer.
Great advice. Uh-oh. We
And
lost
I
him.
know,
Best.
hear that? That's trumpets in the background. Anyway, I want Austin to know this, that Johnny might be partially deaf.
Uh-oh, no.
Jeez.
It's all in the truth of the saying of the words. The words were just said, and that is the truth. Thank you. God bless you, Johnny.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, Gary
that
Busey
great?
coming in hot there.
He was he at a Motel 6 right
Dude,
off
it's
of
hilarious.
you know, Sunset
been, right?
Boulevard or something? Where was he at? What is going on
Can't
here?
get enough of the fact that he's like, you hear that? Those are trumpets.
We got to, you know, and there are times that we were laughing out there for the audience. You have to go and check it out. Is it on the website?
Yeah, actually, I'll put a link directly
Okay.
on No Focus. Yeah,
You guys out there listening, you have to go and watch it. That's why we were. You have to watch Gary's expressions.
It's
here.
great.
It is amazing. Yeah. So you know, you need to watch it as well as what you just heard.
So it's in the show notes, and you can also get it at nofocusradio.com. You'll be able to get it right. It'll be on one of the links there.
Thank you, Gary. That was
Wow, that's
It's special.
yeah, it's huge. Special.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's
You're-
just
don't sell yourself
huge.
short. That's
Well,
huge.
I like one. First of all, I'm thrilled that he's a fan of the show.
yeah, that's awesome. That's
So
great.
good. And I mean, obviously, fan of the show. So
Yeah.
But also, my actually, Don Schlicks and I, we used to. There was a show. You remember that show that he had, the Gary Busey? What was that called on MTV?
no.
Wasn't that like a variety show of something?
I'm with
or-
Busey. It's called I'm with Busey.
Oh, I'm with Busey. Oh, it's like, yeah, kind of like a reality show. A
Yeah, a
reality
reality show. It was
Yeah,
probably
okay.
the funniest television show I've ever seen in my life.
Really,
Yeah,
I don't even remember it.
Don and I watched that show like as much as we could. It was perfect. There's only like one season, but it was this young guy named Adam LaPena who just hung out with Gary Busey, and they just filmed it. And Gary Busey was just kind of like, they'd go see like famous people. I remember some episodes they went and hung out with like Lou Ferrigno and Andy Dick and various
wow.
people.
Okay. Yeah.
But Gary Busey was legitimately, he's kind of like a crazy person. So like they would go hiking, and it was just this guy and like his camera. And Gary Busey it was like, we don't need to bring any like food or water. And the guy's like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, I know how to get wherever we're going. And they're following, I just remember like they're following, he's talking about following moss. Like, we got to follow the moss, you know. And the guy's like, okay, well, he's like, we got to go way over there where there's that moss is way over there. And the Adam LaPena says, yeah, but what about all of this moss that we've been walking by? He's like, that's not moss. He's like, yes, it is. It's all over the place. If it's not moss, what is it? And Gary Busey looks at him and just goes, it's trees. dead serious. Like, those are trees. He's a crazy person.
Oh my gosh! Now this was after his motorcycle accident.
Oh, I don't know when I'm with Busey came. I'm with Busey was 2003. When
I
was
think
his
it had to be
motorcycle
because I think he had his accident a little earlier than that. This poor guy. I mean, he's had a problem. He has had his problems.
Yes.
And then he had that accident where he hit one like head first into a curb or something
Ouch. That
on a
hurt.
motorcycle. Yeah, off a motorcycle. So.
Is that what happened? I don't
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
how bad it all was. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's he's very interesting.
I mean, when I look at the video of him, I can even hardly tell it's Gary Busey.
Yes.
I mean,
you're right. It's hard.
I mean, really, I'm being serious here, guys. He looks, with all due respect, he looks really bad. It's hard to tell. And keep in mind here, the Gary Busey I'm seeing in my mind is the one that I saw as Mr. Joshua in Lethal Weapon and the Buddy Holly story. And he was also in a movie called The Firm with Tom Cruise, where he played a shady private eye. So
What about the one with Keanu Reeves? What was that?
Oh, Point Break.
And Point Break and
Yeah,
Patrick
he
Swayze.
played Angela Pappas.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Angela Pappas in Point Break.
He was
the
in.
FBI agent.
Let's play this game really quick. How many movies has Gary Busey been in?
I'm going to say, wait, are we doing how many total or over under? Like, say, for example, over under 30.
No, I'm just saying, give him your best guess.
Best guess? I'm going to say he's been in 40 movies.
Okay.
Best
Okay,
guess.
I'll do the prices right. 41.
181.
No,
Dude, where did we go
that
wrong?
is no way.
Wow.
Isn't that incredible?
No way.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
wait. All right, so here.
I mean, some of
enlighten us.
these are things like Bikini Model Academy 2, where he
Oh
played
my
Uncle
gosh.
Seymour in 2015.
we forgot,
Oh my gosh.
we forgot about all the B-rated skin
yeah.
flicks.
Was he in Killer Clowns? He's wearing a Killer Clowns hat in this video.
Yeah, I
is
think he was in Killer Clowns.
from outer space. No.
But he was in Homo Erectus in 2007.
Oh my
The
gosh.
Hard Easy.
That's a classic.
Did you guys ever see Dr. Dolittle 4?
No.
Yeah, just Dr. Dolittle
I was
4.
gonna say,
He played a character named Butch. Dr. Dolittle
Butch.
4.
Didn't even know there was a third one.
Wow.
So I mean, he's been in some movies that I guess you would say like aren't classics. You know,
Yeah.
they're not big
Yeah.
hits. You could
Right,
say.
right.
Ghost Rock. You guys know Ghost Rock?
No idea.
no.
You guys don't know
never heard
Ghost
of it.
Rock? Oh, how about Frost, Portrait of a Vampire?
You know.
No, okay.
No.
You know, we co-host an entertainment podcast. You
Yeah.
think we would know about these?
I
Yeah,
know we're not
What the
doing our
heck?
job.
I
here.
know what's going on here.
We're gonna have to do like
lagging,
a all
We're
Busey,
lagging.
all the podcast show.
I will put that on Padlet, on our Padlet. All right.
How about
put it on.
Shasta McNasty? You guys know Shasta McNasty?
I've heard of Shasta.
That
McNasty.
sounds
Yeah?
familiar.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard it. Heard about it,
So
yeah.
I mean, yeah, a lot of he's been in
Wow.
some of these movies.
Now, wasn't he just recently involved in some kind of car accident thing or something? And we talked about it on a previous podcast.
I don't know. Actually, I could probably find out.
But that's, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, this guy's always involved in something. I don't know.
yeah, man, Gary Busey is he's awesome. Big fan. I mean, to be fair, he is 80 years old.
Yeah.
He doesn't look terrible for 80.
I mean, for his
Well-
life, for the hard life he had, he did a lot of drugs.
Drugs
Yeah.
and alcohol. Yeah.
And yeah, he's had a rough life. So for he's still around at 80.
It's actually pretty impressive, right?
Yeah.
I think
Actually, at this point, I'm more impressed than anything else. Yeah, Gary Busey, just man, he's awesome. I'm a big fan.
Merry Christmas, Gary Busey.
Yeah,
wherever
very-
you
I
are.
like that. I
in that
like
closet at that Motel 6.
that.
Happy holidays.
Yeah. Wow. On his Instagram, he's got some really attractive photos of himself.
Oh no! Don't even. I don't even want to see these.
You wanna
No.
look at that? No? You guys don't like that?
He's at the Gary Busey. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
At the
Lord.
Gary Busey.
Jeez,
that's
Gary.
that's actually pretty rough. That was
Yeah.
that's a
There.
rough.
Yeah, we're looking at some rough photos here, folks.
It looks like
yeah,
it's not.
it's not.
He looks
That
like
one's
Wow.
the crypt keeper
That
in
one's
that
not
one photo.
great.
Jeez.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, 80 though. You know, 80's pretty. Oh, look at his eye here. What happened to his eye?
Right.
I don't know. He's got some.
Oh yeah, you know what? I think he's got a fake eye. Does he have a fake eye now or something?
I don't know.
Interesting. Maybe like a glass eye. You mean?
Yeah,
Man,
right.
I don't
mean,
know.
It's pretty. It looks like it, possibly.
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. Wow, look at that young picture of him.
Yeah. Right.
That is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's moving on.
Don't do drugs, kids. That's the lesson here.
Or drink excessively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy smokes! If you guys want to just take some time, go to at the Gary Busey, and it's worth it. I think it's worth it. For a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah. Hours and hours of entertainment.
Entertainment. Okay, moving on. Wow. Okay. Anyways,
Please.
we have with us. I don't know. We talked about everybody here at the show, but we didn't talk about the fact where you're from. You're from Pardon the Intermission,
That's
an entertainment
correct. Oh, yeah.
podcast. You guys
Yeah,
talk
that's
about.
what we do.
You guys talk about your favorite intermissions.
What
You
do we
go
talk
to-
about,
is that what
Jason?
that is?
What is the spiel?
Well, the spiel that we talk
are
about. We are a podcast that we talk about movies, TV shows, and pop culture, and a little bit of everything in between.
Yeah,
Okay,
there
I
we
like
go.
that. I
There we
like
go.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we'll on occasion we'll not only give our reviews about our favorite shows and movies, like I just said, but we also do a lot of memorial tributes to a lot of actors who pass away, entertainers, performers that have left significant and indelible marks in our society. We throw shout outs to them. And we also have now started getting into reviewing some local stuff because Eric and I recently saw a local movie called The Shift, and we were both very impressed with it. And so now we're starting to throw some shade out there and toss some mulligans out there to some of the local people. So, yeah, and when people, you can find us on all the popular podcast places. And when you download the show, make sure you share it. Make sure sure you give us those 5 stars because those are the only stars that matter.
That's right. That's right.
So, that's Pardon the Intermission. And you can find us on Facebook at Pardon the Intermission. And Eric, what's our Twitter handle, man?
It is at PTI_podcast.
Did you get it right this
I
time?
think I got it right this time.
Okay,
yeah,
good,
I can
'cause
never remember that
good.
next thing. Yeah.
You royally messed it up last week. So good.
I was all over the place.
And if you guys are
I was Gary Buseying it. That's what I did.
And remember, if you guys are like, well, how do I find that show? If you go to nofocusradio.com, it's actually right there. There's a link. It says
There you
Pardon
go.
the
There we
Intermission,
go.
the Doorman's podcast.
Thank
so
you.
It's right
Thank
there.
There you
very
go.
much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
Get
Thank
that.
you.
Yes,
Yeah,
get
we just
that.
try to talk about all things entertainment and just have some
Yeah.
fun on that one. So
Yeah, and we try to make it enjoyable for everyone, not just, as much as Eric and I enjoy talking about all that stuff, we try and make it enjoyable for everyone. And, it's just one of those things where, you just listen to it and enjoy it. And, leave your comments as well. Let us know what we're doing well and doing
or give us
not
some
so well.
ideas if you guys want us to talk about
Yeah,
some other
please.
stuff. Yeah.
Now, I have an idea. What would
Yeah.
it take to
Yes.
have your good friend Max DeBoss guest on your show?
Oh.
Seems like you don't even care.
That would be a good
Seems like you don't even
idea.
care.
You know what I'd like
You
to
know
do?
what?
I'd like to do theater stories with Max
That'd be
DeBoss.
fun.
It's funny you
That would
mention
be
that because
fun.
didn't we talk one time about maybe talking about like our 10 favorite theater shows or the 10 most popular theater shows or theater shows that
Something
we were
like
in or
that,
something
yeah.
like that?
Yeah, for
Well,
sure,
It
yeah.
had like a local tie to it or something.
Yeah,
So, and Max would be a dearth of knowledge in that aspect because he has a lot of theatrical background too. So
yeah.
I think that would be.
He is a thespian.
I'm definitely a dearth. Is that? I don't know.
What's a dearth?
I don't know. He said a dearth of knowledge.
Oh, what is a dearth?
It's a lot. It's
Does
a
that
bit.
mean a lot?
That is Darth's wicked stepson.
Oh, okay.
So when you say someone has like a dearth of knowledge, it just means they have a lot of knowledge.
An
expansive
expansive
knowledge.
Yeah.
Dearth
Yeah.
of knowledge, a lot, expansive. Yeah. So
Expensive universe of knowledge.
Max, it was a compliment. It was not an
No, I know,
insult.
but actually, you know what's funny is I've always heard that too. A dearth meaning a lot.
But what does
Yeah.
it actually
But
mean?
actually, the actual definition is
Uh-oh.
dearth is a noun that means an insufficient quantity or number.
No.
Maybe I don't mean
Really?
that then.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Sorry.
How much stuff do we think? I've done that before
Yeah,
too, where
right?
I think words are one thing and you actually get the definition and it doesn't mean that at all.
Right.
But everybody uses it in that different way.
Oh, here's a new fun thing we're going to talk about.
Yes.
Sorry, we're going off script here. Sorry, I'm
Oh,
going to add
that's
to
all
the
right.
show notes.
Yeah.
Where does the word smart come from? So here's something. I'm sure you guys have heard people say that smarts.
Yeah.
Right? When that hurts.
All the time.
Yeah,
That's
something
smart.
hurts, yeah.
That smarts. It smarts. Do you
Yeah,
guys
when I
know?
stub my toe. I
Do you actually
"Oh,
say
it's
smarts?
I still say smarts on occasion.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't really say that. I've always heard it. I've
Yeah.
always been like,
Yeah.
it's a weird thing. And I never took the time to really dig into it. Thought it was weird. But I've been listening to some audio plays. My daughter loves radio plays because I love radio plays, and I've been making her listen to them since she was born, and now she asks to listen to them.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
cool,
she's been asking
cool.
to listen to Scrooge, which
Okay.
is Disney's Mickey's Christmas Carols radio show that they did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Alan.
okay.
So it's awesome. Alan
Yeah.
Young.
Oh,
It's
boy.
great. And in it, Goofy says, "That's smarts." And I
Yeah.
was like, just sitting there, and I was like, man, that's so weird. Like, where the heck does that come from, right? Well, I'm about to blow your minds.
Okay.
Right
All
for
right,
it.
all
Ready?
right. Good thing we're sitting down.
Yes. The word smarts. I'm gonna actually pull up the exact thing, right? But anyway, I'll sum it up because I don't want to take up too much time. The word smarts actually does mean hurts. Like it hurts.
Okay.
It doesn't the idea for you're smart
Okay.
comes from the
Hurting.
fact that something when it was hurting, because it's a very specific type of pain.
Yeah.
It's like sharp and concrete. So when
Okay.
people, when they started saying, "Oh man, you're smart with that about that thing,"
Mhm.
it kind of meant the same thing. That like, oh, you're very concrete, detailed knowledge about
very
it.
sharp.
Yes, sharp. So the word "smart" that we know it actually comes from the word "smart," meaning hurt, and the word "smart" meaning hurt is much older than the word "hurt." It comes from Old English. So hurt is the word "hurt" is much newer, like hundreds of years newer.
Wow.
Than the word smart for pain. Totally weird. So when you
That
say,
is-
so I always thought people were weird. I was like some weird East Coast thing or something. No.
Yeah.
That's like the real use of the word smarts.
Huh.
That's smarts.
The etymology of that word is very,
Totally strange.
very strange. But
Yeah.
interesting, though.
You might say I have a dearth of knowledge about the word smart.
That is pretty cool though.
Strange, right? I
Yeah.
thought it was a total weird thing. But anyways,
Well, language is funny in that in that sense because, you think, I don't know, you just think it's so new. You don't think of how old some of these terms were and where they actually came from and how they evolved over time.
Right.
Yeah, so especially English, right? English, or especially American English, I mean, it's just kind of like a cornucopia. Yeah. People hate that. Cornucopia of different languages. And it just kind of, everything kind of got thrown in there, and it's pretty fascinating, really.
Yeah, but smart comes from the Old English smarten, which comes from the Proto-Germanic smertana, to hurt and ache, which comes from the Proto-Indo-European smerd, meaning to bite and to sting. So it has always meant hurts.
Interesting.
Huh.
So that is interesting. Now when you say, man, you're so smart, it's not that you have brain power. It's actually a feeling.
It's a feeling.
A sharpness or a concreteness.
Yes, exactly. It's a concreteness, like
of a thought.
Of a thought.
Huh.
That's where that came from.
That is crazy.
Yeah, totally weird.
Yeah.
So actually, like the
so then to have smart water, and you think it's making you
hurt, actually
upping your IQ, but it's actually hurting you. Do they know? Does this company know what they're doing?
Isn't it so strange?
We need to go back and have a re-education on this word here, because there are literally so many slippages on the definition of this word. We could all use a refresher.
I dug into it a bit. So the way it means this: so smart, right, to hurt or to sting, in a very concrete way, which comes from this. So then the idea of being smart is to feel a pungent pain of mind, to feel sharp pain or grief, to feel the sting of evil or thought. That's where it comes from. So it's like, I have this idea, like it sting.
Let me ask you this. So then did our ancestors, did it hurt to think?
Does it hurts to me? Does it not hurt you to think anymore?
No. No. Oh. Well, maybe a little bit sometimes.
Hurts me every time.
Yeah.
Every time I think.
Yeah. I try not to.
So strange.
Strange. Very
Strange.
cool. What are we going to call this segment?
This is called...
this is language.
Yeah, this was called...
subcranial hemorrhage.
With Johnny Knobs.
Yeah, this was called Entomology with Johnny Knobs. Okay, anyways.
We got to... next year, let's do that for 2024. We got to work on our theme tunes.
Yes, we'd have to redo the theme tunes. We kind of use them up a lot, so...
And since Don has given his up, we can just do whatever we want with that one.
Actually, speaking of, I gotta put my notes in here because I'm always keeping notes, guys. So sometimes I take a little bit of time. Speaking of Johnny, Don Schlick's song.
Yes. Yes.
This is a segment called the California Update. Oh, what's up, California?
California
Update. Hey, what's going on, California?
California.
Hey, anything new, California?
What's happening?
I based my evidence on the data.
Hey, California. What's new?
Hey, California.
I have the best interest of the people of this state in mind.
California.
Hey,
California.
I'm your governor. Vote for me for president.
California! What's up, California?
Yeah.
Cali!
Yeah.
All right. New California laws coming
here we
at ya.
Here we
Let's
go.
read a couple of these. You guys want to go through some of these?
Yeah, can you put it up on our board here? I can't.
I forgot. I
see it
thought
on
we
our
were
board.
throwing it up
there we
on the
go.
board. Here we go.
On the board. Here we go.
On the board. Okay, we'll take turns going through and kind of summarize.
All right, where does it start?
Here's my first one. New protections for those who use or have used cannabis off the clock.
Wow.
Hey,
what?
all right. It prohibits an employer from requesting information from applicants' prior cannabis use. It also prohibits employers from discriminating against a worker or applicant based on their use of cannabis if they had it off the job and away from the workplace.
Oh my God.
So let's say you're smoking, you're smoking a joint, you're having some fun.
Okay.
You're doing a doobie, as we
Doing a
call
doobie,
it. You're
roll on.
bubbling the bambalatch.
Right.
You're
What? I don't know. What does that even mean?
you're mowing the lawn, if you know what I mean.
You're blasting the bong.
Mowing the lawn. That's a different. That means something
different one?
different.
Oh, okay.
That's a different one.
Anyways, and then you show up to work. They can't fire you because you were smoking.
Let's back up though, and let's make sure we make it clear. These are going to be. Did we say that rules and regulations for 2024?
2024.
Right?
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
New laws coming into
Yeah.
effect in
Yes.
2024 in California.
Yes.
So that's what that is. So that's a new one. So it's
That's a new
protections
one.
for people who use
Cannabis.
I thought you could just use it all the time now. I thought it was legal just to.
And actually, I'm not against. Like, here's my thing. I'm not against. I think like my thought is as like an employer, like if whatever you do off of work doesn't affect your work, then I don't really care. Like, I'm not get angry for people if they're at home having a beer the night before.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. So I'm fine with this one. Whatever. I've always kind of been against. Now, I also understand, though, certain industries, I think you shouldn't. Like, if you're like a surgeon, I don't think I want you drinking or using cannabis or doing pretty much anything the night before besides just sleeping all day and having steady hands.
Right.
Yeah, true.
So I
true.
understand. So anyways,
okay,
it does say...
So maybe don't get surgery in California anymore.
It does say that people in the building and construction trade are exempt from this.
Wait. Well, hold on just a second.
Yeah.
I would think that, people in the construction and the business industry trade, they're working with a lot of heavy tools there and a lot of dangerous tools. Wouldn't you think that would be counterintuitive to what this law is supposed to be intended for? I mean, I can see right now Eric's out there using a jackhammer. Puffing down 3 or 4 joints while he's using the jackhammer. And all of a sudden he says, ooh, look, a pink elephant in the sky. Picks up the jackhammers his foot into the ground. Yeah. That's not going to be good because cannabis is hallucinogenic. So
they're exempt from it, which means they're not safe, which means they don't have the protections.
I'm sorry. I misunderstood.
Okay.
I misunderstood.
Yeah.
My bad.
Because they're saying you have protections except if you're in the construction.
If you work in construction.
Okay, now I got it. Okay, sorry. My bad.
Okay, next one.
Next one here. Yeah, I'll take it. Minimum wage increases. California. We all know this one, right? California's minimum wage.
No, there's 2 here, though. There's 2 coming.
There's 2. Okay, so this one, it says, overall, the minimum wage will increase to $16 an hour when the new year begins because of a state law that requires the minimum wage to adjust for inflation. Wow. Does that include my salary, too? Will it adjust for inflation?
No, your salary won't.
Okay. Oh, weird.
But I tell you what, though, your everything else
my
you're
taxes
buying,
will?
Your taxes will definitely go up. So will your
food
gas
and
your food, your energy, your water, your garbage.
Garbage will go up. Yeah.
Your waste
we have a story about that, too. I don't know if we'll get into that. Okay, so it says,
medical care.
Later this year, other job sectors will see even bigger bumps. In April, AB 1228 will go into effect to raise the minimum wage of fast food workers to $20 an hour. And in June, another one, healthcare workers will begin seeing increases to their minimum wage, depending on the type of facility they work in, to be up to $25 an hour for minimum wage.
Okay.
And then the entire industry by 2033.
2033, yeah.
Wow.
Right.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that. You had just gotten, matter of fact, we were just talking about you just gotten a burger, the 2-burger meal at McDonald's. Right?
Yeah.
And how much did that cost?
I believe it was $9.18.
Yeah.
Like
oh my gosh. And then we were talking about how that used to be the cheapest meal. The 2 cheeseburger meal.
Yeah.
Was the cheapest meal at McDonald's, and now forget it. After this too, it'll go up even higher. It'll probably be $15.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, $15 for 2 cheeseburgers that look like the size of Tic Tacs.
Yeah.
And now I believe I brought it up after I offered you a French fry, Eric. But
but you were going to charge me for that French fry, I think, weren't you?
I was going to charge you $30 for 1 French fry.
Yeah.
Inflation, man.
You got to offset the cost of the burger.
Okay. But no, you're right. It is asinine just to think about that. That fast food, which was once affordable to us 5-10 years ago, which wasn't that long ago, is now getting to the point where you might as well just go out to the finest restaurant in town and pay the same amount of money for a 5-star meal that you're paying for fast food, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
almost
crazy.
Yeah.
The
crazy.
gap is closing on that.
Yeah.
And not only that, we were talking about how, a lot of those jobs, because of the way that people have taken care of the economy, I mean the politicians, a lot of those jobs were entry-level jobs to begin with. They weren't meant to be living wage jobs.
Yep. Yeah.
They were just meant to, hey, just kind of help, some high school kids, maybe some college kids get by, survive.
And to teach them how to work with people, to teach them how to
all
develop
the skills,
good work habits, the basic skills you need to advance in the world. So if you decide to go to college, get an education that will help you get a better job, you already have those basic skills you need to exceed.
Teach them how to interview, how to interview in a job, and
there you go.
Everything else.
I think some of the things that people also miss is there's a reason why those jobs are typically had a stable lower wage. It's because those were also those were the items that could be cheaper, right? They were the things that, and it's because it was high school kids, it was cheaper, which then lent it to be like fast food. The kind of food that you could eat on a low budget. But when you constantly increase all of that, then there is no more cheap food. There is no
Yeah.
more cheap places to go. There's no
Right.
more all of that stuff. And a good example is this. In 100 years, from 1916, this is just California, 1916 to 2016. I'll pull this up here. Here it is right here. 1916 to 2016.
Okay.
Minimum wage went from nothing from when they started it to $9. So 100 years, it went up $9.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. And then in 7 years from 2016 to 2023, it went from $9 to $20.
That is
Oh.
nuts.
So in 100 years, it was $9, and then in 7 years, it went up an additional $11.
Wow.
So you're thinking, well, how come things are expensive? Hello, like there's your inflation,
There it
right?
is.
Like there
Yeah.
it is. You keep on pouring. Like that's why everything's that much more expensive.
I
Very
think
hard.
I think one of the solutions here for just the everyday working man is just going to be we're going to have to all invent time machines. And when we want fast food, just go back in time.
I don't know if you know this, but Johnny Knobs, his hands can control the winds of time.
Yeah.
Well,
Work
get
some
on
magic.
that time machine, Johnny.
We're waiting, Johnny. We're not
Yeah.
getting any younger here. Come on, let's go.
This
I
next
want a Big
one,
Mac I can afford.
I'm going to send this next one. The next law here, we're going over to Jason, but I want you to read this one look slowly because I find this one to be funny.
Which one? The SB 497?
Yep.
Okay, so this is still in the minimum wage increase sector here. It says,
Yep.
so this one makes it easier for employees to establish retaliation claims against their employer.
Uh-huh.
This is known as Equal Pay for Anti-Retaliation Act.
Okay, wait. What?
Huh?
It makes
Okay,
it
wait,
easier
wait.
for employees to establish retaliation
Claims.
but it's called the Anti-Retaliation Act.
Am I in 1984?
Yeah.
Huh?
What?
Isn't that hilarious?
Did George Orwell write this?
It's exactly
We're
like,
at war with Eurasia. We're not at war with you.
It's exactly like the Inflation Reduction Act, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Where they were like,
Exactly.
well, actually, it's going to increase inflation.
Yeah.
But people are like, well, he passed that act. I'm like, okay.
That is, I have no
Okay.
idea. And then the last one on that one, real quick, just says requires employers to allow both hourly and hourly workers to earn the minimum of 5. So you get 5 paid sick days a year.
That's right.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, that means costs are just going through
the
roof.
Okay, public safety. Jason, you want to take this one?
Yeah, so there are going to be some new limits for gun buyers and carriers.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yes, get your guns. You have
Get ready.
how many days before?
Probably
15
about
days.
15. Okay.
Go get your guns.
Lawmakers and the governor this year passed 2 laws in response to mass shootings nationwide. The first one is SB 2, which places new limits on concealed carry firearm permit holders. Ding, 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 ding. While AB 28 imposes an 11% tax on firearms and ammunition to help fund violence prevention
Oh, my
programs.
gosh.
Isn't that special?
Yeah, I'm going
Wow.
to tell you what happens. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on with the concealed carry permit.
Yeah.
Issue because I actually, me and my wife just went and did some stuff at a place. Where they
Okay.
teach you these things.
Stuff at a place.
Yeah.
Got it.
So, not me and my wife. Sorry, let me go back. Some people I know went and did some stuff at a place where they teach you these things. And essentially what they're doing is when you currently get your concealed carry, you go through an 8-hour course. Well, first, I don't know if people who are listening out there, I'm assuming, if you've never bought a gun in California, I'm going to walk you through the process.
Oh, boy. We're going to be here all night.
It's a lot. And then if you especially want to conceal carry, if you just want to buy a gun,
This
you
is a
go in-
handgun you're talking about
handgun.
specifically.
You go in, you do any gun, California.
Okay. Oh,
you
any
go
gun,
in,
okay.
You do they run a full background check on you.
Even
All
on a
right.
super soaker?
Almost. Yeah. They run a full background check on you, right?
Okay.
So you go
Okay.
in. They also take your fingerprints. They do the whole thing. So fingerprints, that whole deal, background check.
Yeah.
Then they say, okay, do you want to buy a gun? Do the whole deal. You say yes. You pay. Then they say, okay, in 10 days, you have to come back and get that gun. But before we even figure this all out, you now have to pass the handgun safety test in the store. So so anytime you buy a gun, you have to pass the handgun safety. If it's a handgun safety test. And it's a written test. I think it's like 30 questions. And it's like a 30-question test. Like it's a legit test. Much harder than a driver's test, mind you. Like you have to study. It's a lot of stuff.
Okay.
You take that test, and then I'm walking through what my friends told me they had to do. And then you do that, And then they also do a certificate safety. So they actually will say, okay, now take the gun out. Show me like where the hammer is. Show me this. They make you disassemble it, put it together, the whole deal. So you have
Holy
to,
jeez.
So, okay,
Wow.
then, great, awesome. Now we'll go through. In 10 days, you can come get your gun. So 10 days go by, you go get your gun. Got it. So now you have a gun. Very cool. Now, what can I do with that gun? Well, you can't take it out of your house until you have a concealed carry permit, essentially. You can go to the range, to and from the range.
Yeah.
When to and from the range, it's got to be in a locked box. So, like,
Okay.
you're just literally, you can't do anything with your gun. So you want to get a CCW. You've already proven that you know all the laws, the rules, and the safety stuff, that you know how to use the gun. You've already done full background checks.
Okay.
Oh, you want to buy ammo? Every time you buy ammo, they run a background check. Every single time. And they charge you for it. So every single time you buy ammo, you get a background check.
How much do they charge for it?
It depends. It's not that much, but it's like, an extra $5. It's like $5-10 or something like that.
So it's a nominal fee then.
It's a nominal fee, but that adds
okay.
up when your ammo's already went.
But you better buy quite a few boxes of ammo
to make it
Yeah,
worth
right.
it. Exactly.
to make it worth it. Yeah.
Because when your ammo used to be 20 cents, now you're paying like $1.25. You're like, oh crap, like this is nuts.
So if you're like Arnold Schwarzenegger, that's going to get expensive really quickly. Huh?
It gets expensive very fast.
okay,
I wouldn't know,
got
but
it.
people told me.
Right.
So
Wow.
you do that. So you get background checks every time. Then you want to
Okay.
get a concealed carry license, right?
Okay.
So what do you need? Well, first of all, you need some ammo because you're going to have to go do your training.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to go buy ammo. Remember what happens? You get a background check.
Every time.
So now you're background checked again, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
You go do an 8-hour concealed carry class.
Okay.
So you do 4 hours, a minimum of 4 to 8 hours. I think it's like 6-hour class.
Okay.
So you're learning, you're sitting down, you're learning all the stuff that you've already taken a test on, mind you. So you've already proven that you already know.
You know, I don't know.
You've already proven
know,
that you know it,
you know
right?
what you know.
So you
yeah.
know what you know.
Okay.
You already know it. But now you have to take a 6-hour class.
Okay. And how much does that cost?
You're looking at usually about $250 bucks.
Oh,
to do
nice.
this.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you have to do a 4-hour shooting class. Where you have to prove that you know how to shoot, that you can be safe with it, that you can shoot within. They'll usually start you at like 5-10 feet, and then they'll kind of back all the way up to like 15 or 20 feet. And you have to shoot within a certain area. Make sure that you're safe. They usually put some targets up. Make sure you can that you're safe with it. You know what you're doing. The whole deal. I heard that they've even gone as far as, this is just what I've been told from some people who went and did some stuff recently, that if like you have kids, for instance, they made these people hold a bowling ball in one arm and be able to shoot the other arm. That way you can like, just in case, like, so you have to be pretty good.
Okay, now what happens if you have a horse? Do you have to ride your horse
Right.
and
Probably.
show you can shoot at the same time you're riding your
You're
horse?
not allowed to shoot when you're on a horse. That's animal endangerment, you psycho.
Okay.
All right. What kind of Paul
state you think
Swearingen
this
love
is?
All right. What about if you're on a bicycle or something then?
Oh my gosh, that's bike endangerment. Are you guys freak?
Bike
That's
endangerment.
shooting while in a motor vehicle or something.
Okay,
Well,
so,
gosh darn
So
it.
now
so-
you've done that. You have to do that. Keep in mind that's also expensive because you have to also, you're paying for that time and your
Okay.
ammo and your everything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do all of that, and then you have to. So then you do all of that, right? And then you have to take all that information and take it to the city or the sheriff, and you have to fill out this whole. I think it's probably like a 4-page sheet. You fill out
Okay.
this 4-page sheet. They ask you all the questions, everything you can imagine about your life, who you live with, everything. You fill all of that out. They then send it in. They say, we're going to do a preliminary background check and then send it to the sheriff's office and or the police, the Fresno PD. If that gets approved, then you have to go in for a meeting, and you go and you meet with the police or the sheriffs.
Oh my god.
So you have to schedule that meeting. I've been told that this could be like a 3-month waiting period
Great.
on a good that's if you can get, that's like good timing.
So that's
usually.
just on average then. 3 months.
That's 3 months it's on average is usually much more.
Holy moly. Okay.
So I'll tell you
Wow.
this much. I do know a side story that in New York, when that Supreme Court ruling was,
Yeah.
what they were doing was they were never making the meeting, so nobody ever got a permit to get a
Okay.
gun. So it's a long time. So you wait 3 months, you go, you meet with the police or the sheriff's department.
Okay.
They meet you in person. They do a series of questions.
Okay.
At that time, they do another fingerprinting in their office. So that's now another somehow bigger background check.
Okay.
They say, okay, great. Thank you very much. We've got this information. We've done your interview. Now please bring us 3 reference letters from people who you know, who are not related to you, who will back up the fact that you were safe to have a firearm. And then once you get those, come back. In the meantime, we will be interviewing your neighbors. When you don't know, they'll come and they will interview your neighbors. They'll show up to your house, around your house. They'll interview your neighbors, and they'll just talk to them.
Okay.
I have been told, once again, I don't know who I know, I've been told that all of a sudden everybody around you thinks you're becoming a cop because all of a sudden cops start interviewing people about who you are. So they start interviewing. Obviously, everybody either knows you're becoming a cop or you have guns, because why is this happening? So they interview all your neighbors. They usually interview the 3 neighbors next to you, like next door, and across the street.
Okay.
If that all goes as planned, they'll call you back. You then do your final meeting. You go in, you do a meeting. They say, okay, we've done this. We've reviewed your last stuff. Now, before we issue your CCW, you have to go do a DOJ FBI background check.
Oh, my God.
So now you go to a special, usually there's a couple of places in town you do this. That's expensive. That's like another $250. And then you go and you do these full handprint scans, and then they send that to the DOJ. They do a full background check. And mind you, you sign like, I don't even, this person doesn't even remember how many papers you have to sign.
Wow.
But they'll they look up everything about you, everything. And then once that happens, you can get your CCW license. So you're looking at a couple of months, multiple background checks, thousands of dollars. And then, and then they treat you like a criminal because, like, of course, after you do all of that, you're going to go commit a crime. Like, no, you're not.
So,
you've literally given them access to everything in your life.
But after they do all that,
including access to they'll ask you about medical records. Like when you do the DOJ one, they can get access. It will say that you're signing away access to this stuff. So, like,
no HIPAA, no HIPAA's here. Okay, so you do all that, and then if you actually have to use it,
then you go to jail.
100%.
Actually, I'll just say, when I was doing my training not that long ago, they full on told us, like, just so because the questions were, hey, there's all these stories about people who used it. There was one in Santa Barbara a couple weeks ago, or San Diego? I don't know. You can watch the video. The guy jumped the other guy's fence, and he's in his yard. Yeah. And the one guy's unlocking his door, and this guy comes up with a gun and hits him over the head. And so the guy who's trying to get into his house is a concealed carry weapon. Okay. He pulls out his gun.
Oh, I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Shoots the guy off, whatever. That guy got his guns taken away from him and was put in jail. The one who was trying to go into his house on his own property and got hit in the head with somebody.
What is California? Is it a runaway state? You're supposed to run, right? I mean, seriously, I'm being serious here. There's certain laws that they're saying, like, if you can run away, you need to run away. And if
the rule is if essentially, and this is kind of what they'll say is. Actually, the guy I've trained with I love. I'll just tell you, if you're looking for somebody to train with, Steve Collins, he's amazing. He actually trains like SWAT guys. The whole Ridley PD and Sheriff's Department train with him. Like he's awesome.
He's legit.
He's like the coolest guy on earth. Also, but yeah, the sheriff, actually the Fresno County Sheriff, knows him very well. They're like good friends. It's super cool. He owns a big place up in Squaw Valley. Okay, and you can do like legit training and like courses. Anyways, he's awesome.
Like the John Wick stuff.
Yeah, it's really cool. Ooh. So, but the way he always says, he teaches it like this. He says, "Look, these are the laws. The laws are this," and then he'll say, "However," and he's like, and he always says this: when you need to protect yourself or your family, do whatever you're gonna do, and like, you know. And people are like, yeah, but aren't going to go to jail. He's like, right. But if somebody's raping my daughter or something, I'm going to kill them, and I'll figure it out later. Like, that's his thing. Like, of course that's the law. But if like you need to protect yourself, so protect yourself, and like, you might go to jail. But hey, guess what? You're alive. That's kind of his rule. Like the rule, but the rule is, to answer your question, essentially, if they say that you shot somebody within like 15 feet, like past 15 feet of you, then essentially you are automatically guilty. So if somebody's even in your house and they turn out they were like more than 15 feet away from you, then they weren't a direct threat to you. Yeah. So that's the thing. Like if they're not
what if they have a weapon?
They're not within 15 feet. If they're carrying a knife in your house and they're like, I'm going to come at you. They're not within 15 feet, and that's somehow they could prove that you shot them within that, you're going to be in trouble. Now, if they were like actively stabbing you, you'd probably be okay. But like,
if you're
already
in your
in your house,
you're bleeding to death,
right? That's all.
In your house, not good enough. In your house, closer than 15 feet, you might be okay.
What if they're in your doorway? Same rule applies.
Probably.
Well, that was the old saying as far as California is that, you know, if you were to shoot someone, make sure that you drag them in the house if they were outside. I mean, make sure
not
that
good enough
they're
anymore.
but that doesn't hold up
That's
anymore.
not good enough anymore.
right?
Well, okay, so here's the deal.
But I mean,
Johnny,
yeah.
you need to tell your friend just move to Texas. This is ridiculous.
He's been looking.
Yeah.
He's just waiting for his other podcast mates to join him.
The
Close.
commune, the podcast commune.
right.
Okay, so that is ridiculous. So they're making it as hard as they can to get a weapon. That's
Very,
it.
very hard.
That's it. I mean, they don't want people to have guns because guns are help you keep your independence.
Yes.
The reason the Second Amendment is around is because that's the way it keeps a tyrannical government in check, and it has nothing to do with just going out target shooting.
Yes.
Oh, of
Anyway.
course not.
So the next
Yeah,
couple, I'm
of
going to read a
course not.
couple of these here because this is insane to me that these
Yes.
weren't already laws. Like the fact that we're like, these are new laws. Here's an amazing new law. It defines child sex trafficking as a serious felony.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
I like how before, like, are you telling me
Right?
that up until 2024,
All
we
the
were like,
laws that are on the books, they
we
didn't
were like,
have
oh,
this one.
child sex trafficking? Nah, slap on the wrist. Like, are you fucking
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Well, and this is what cracks me up the most about this law, and it cracks me up in a not so funny way, meaning repeat offenders.
Yes,
of
repeat
this crime.
offenders.
There
Yeah.
should be no repeat offenders
Yes,
when it
meaning
comes
a
to child
Exactly.
sex
repeat
trafficking.
offender
Yeah.
could
Yes.
face up to life. Like a repeat offender. I'm sorry. If you catch somebody doing child sex trafficking, you need to hang them in the public square. I'm sorry. They're
Yeah.
done. There is no more repeat. There's no chance for them to repeat offender.
Johnny,
I'm
excuse
sorry.
me for my interjection, but is this a freaking joke? Is this
It's
a joke?
It's an insane, right?
This
It's
is
insane.
a joke.
It's insane.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Like they
No,
think
this is California. This is
the fact that you're
Ha
right.
ha ha.
Yeah, meaning
I'm laughing.
repeat
Yeah.
offenders could face up to no
Could.
one offender. Like I'm sorry, you're
wow, there's a
taking
sliver
them
of a
out.
chance
Yeah.
there.
You're taking them out.
Wow. Okay.
AB 701 enhances jail time for those trafficking more than a kilo of fentanyl.
How much? That's very ambiguous.
Oh, a kilo.
Oh, well, but it says enhances jail time. What does that
Oh,
even
more
mean?
than a kilo,
Enhances
I'm
what,
sorry.
a day?
Yeah.
Do
But
we
my
know?
other problem is, think about this. They say like they've been saying like a grain of salt, a size of rice of fentanyl
Can
kills
kill
people.
someone.
It can.
But
Yeah.
if you're like, oh, if you're trafficking more, like less than a kilo of fentanyl, we're just like, nah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Sounds to me like they're splitting hairs with that
It's
one.
insane.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
All right, next one. I'll let you guys take it.
Oh boy.
Okay, I'll do this
Yeah,
one.
you
It
do
says
this
SB 673 establishes the Ebony Alert,
Oh,
and that is for missing young black women and children.
Great.
I guess young black men don't qualify for this.
question. That's what I'm wondering. Do
This
young-
doesn't.
Well, what I'm also
Yeah.
wondering too is when
It's
is
so
Al,
weird.
when is Al Sharpton going to be on the steps of the state capitol in Sacramento and claim this is racial profiling?
Well, that's
Yeah.
my. Is it not?
I mean,
that's
yeah.
another thing. It's so
Technically
weird
it
to me.
is. The
'Cause
Ebony
I'm
Alert?
like I'm going
when
wait,
white kids go missing, you don't have a white kid alert.
It's very
know?
interesting to me because now I'm wondering, like, if my kid, I would like a brown alert for my Middle Eastern daughter.
Yeah, do we have?
would
I mean,
like-
we need a color alert for every
type of race.
every race
Right,
now.
exactly.
It's very
This is-
interesting.
These are
And
hilarious.
also, my thought is this: on like my first thought is this: like, if people don't know this, because here's my problem: people know Amber Alerts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I get a text that says Ebony Alert, I'm gonna go, huh? When I get an Amber Alert, I already like everybody knows what that is, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for.
We're-
I'm looking
we're
for any-
already-
I'm
we're
looking
already
for every
conditioned.
kid. I already know it.
Yeah.
This is real. This is gonna make it harder because people
Yeah.
are gonna go, huh? A what? I don't know what this is. It sounds
It's
fake.
confusion. It's
super-
chaos.
Yes.
It's gonna make it harder. It's
Yeah.
a nightmare.
'Cause
It's
people
actually
don't know
making
what-
it worse for them.
This is what happens. Bureaucracy gets to a point where it just creates nonsensical rules that just start confusing the heck out of people. They don't know what to do. They don't know whether to go left, go right, up, down.
Yep.
Yeah, and you know what, people, you vote these people into office. Just remember that. Maybe not. Maybe some of them you didn't, but yeah.
Right.
They're writing the regulations and rules for you. Anyway, go ahead, Jason. What's this next one?
Oh boy, the next one, AB 360 prohibits excited delirium in quotation marks from being considered a medical diagnosis or
What?
valid cause of death, which has been used by coroners in other states, including, this gets better and better, including Minnesota for the classification of the death of one George Floyd.
Excited delirium?
I didn't know excited delirium could be used as a medical diagnosis to begin with.
I
so what
didn't.
the
I
heck?
didn't either. I never heard of
Is
this
that in
my
the
life.
DSM-4? I mean, is
Yeah,
that
may probably.
if it's in the DSM-4, it must be cardinal rule then, right?
It's-
So
it-
here's the
yeah.
thing. I did a little bit of research on this before the show because I wanted to know what this meant.
yeah, sure.
they'll call it excited delirium and or sudden death, and they'll say it's at the extreme end of the neuropsychiatric continuum. However, they do say a lot of times what this is, and it gets really like crazy, but they'll say neurochemical pathology examination of brain tissues after deaths like this do reveal a complete loss of dopamine transporter regulation together with increases in heat shock protein and expression of a biomarker of hypothermia. Essentially, if you dig through this, it is like a real thing. It's typically people who have been on drugs. Every single person who has this, it's essentially you're on drugs, you're on a psychostimulant.
Yeah.
You get very excited, something's going on. Typically, it says you'll have unexpected physical strength, bizarre and aggressive behavior.
Okay.
Characteristic symptoms are bizarre and aggressive behavior, shouting, paranoia, panic, violence towards others, unexpected physical strength, and hyperthermia. These cases are associated with high cocaine use, methamphetamine, and designer, I don't even know what this is, cathinone abuse. So it is a thing, and essentially you get worked up, and all of your dopamine and everything just fires. You have like hyperthermia and you die. So like it is a thing. And now we're just saying that we're going to no longer consider it a diagnosis when there is like actual descriptions and case reports for this since the 1800s. Like this is not like a random thing. I'll actually, once again, it's in the show notes. There are a number of, and I guess all they're going to have to do is just call it, they're just going to have to change it. They're going to say, well, I guess it was a drug overdose. But the thing is, it's different than a drug overdose because it wasn't the drug. You could be on the drug, and if you weren't excited, like hyper excited, you wouldn't have died.
What would be the reason? But there has to be a reason here why they want to change excited delirium or take it out of the.
Did you guys not read the end of that sentence?
Medical diagnosis. Yes, I did. Yes.
That's why. This is part rare.
I understand that, but it's also like, why would they not just? I mean, regardless, they could just say drug overdose, right?
They could.
I guess maybe that's because excited delirium is a state, and that's what they're saying, that it creates a state that the person is in, which then would I mean, and you're talking about the end of this description here. That would kind of. I understand why they're. I guess I understand now because it would be a state. They could say drug overdose, and that doesn't sound as bad.
Right.
As excited delirium, if you really know what that means.
Well, I think the issue is because it wouldn't be a cocaine. They're saying it wouldn't be a cocaine overdose. In theory, they're saying that they'll actually, if the medical examiners, it's right here, medical examiners, when they review these cases, did not reveal definitive anatomic cause of death through drug overdose. So it's not just the drug overdose.
It's the reaction to the drug. The reaction because of the drug.
It says drug overdose, underlying cardiac disease, as well as what they'll call as neuroleptic malignant syndrome. It's like a number of things that come together into what they call excited delirium. So typically it's like you're typically somebody who has issues, you're on drugs, you have heart issues, and you're like crazy excited. You're having it, usually in a fight or something, and your brain just, you die. So it's like a whole bunch of stuff, and they've just said, okay, well, it happens in certain occasions, so we're going to just group it into this thing, and they don't want to have it anymore. So they'll just change the name and call it a day.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, AB 5. At least we'll go quick here. We're eliminating the statute of limitations and recovery of damages for victims of childhood sexual assault. I think in theory that's good. My only issue is after a certain statute, I don't know how you prove it, and that's my only. I've heard some. I've been reading about it, and there's some lawyers who are like, there's a big issue with this because if there's zero statute of limitations, like 30, 40 years down the road, and there's
anybody can
no
say
way
anything.
to prove anything.
Oh, you mean no evidence whatsoever?
And that's why there is statute of
All
limitations.
people that claim this must be believed,
that's a problem.
Just like the Me Too
So like
movement.
on the front of this, I'm like, yes, I like this. But then I go, but actually, I think it's going to cause more issues.
If California's putting it in the books, there's not a good reason for it.
Right, it's going to cause more issues.
Yeah. It's a way to eliminate anybody that may say the wrong thing.
And I do want everybody to understand what I'm saying. I'm saying this. if somebody is a victim of real sexual assault, then the assaulter, and I'm dead serious, should just be hung in the streets. Like I have no qualms.
Well, let's talk about this for a second. Now, this is not necessarily in California, but let's just say, you've got a person that they knew. His name was Epstein, and you have a lot of issues and you have a book with a lot of people's names in it.
Yeah.
Gone. Everything's just missing.
Gone. Yeah. And also, strangely enough,
but they're so worried about it in California, they want to put this law in, huh?
Yeah.
What was that?
Huh?
No, what'd you say?
I just said, and strangely enough, when he died, those cameras just stopped working.
Oh, the cameras and remember the prison guards? They just
Crazy.
fell asleep.
They were gone.
Or they
weird.
took off. They had to all go pee
Insane.
at the same time or something.
What a trip, huh?
Interesting. Anyway.
July prohibits landlords can no longer charge more than 1 month's rent for security deposit.
What you missed one here. AB, did you miss that one on purpose?
No,
AB 2282
here.
enhances criminal penalties for those who use swastikas, nooses, desecrated crosses, and other hate symbols on schools, cemeteries, religious institutions, businesses, private and public space. Basically anywhere you go.
Okay, so even though those are all hateful examples, those are still examples of freedom of speech. So couldn't that be considered suppression of freedom of speech?
Yes,
sure.
it could.
Yes.
As much as I am
so.
not for swastikas, nooses, or
Of course, yeah, any
crosses,
of
that. Right.
I'm sorry, because the next problem is it's one more thing of what if they say what you don't know the next thing is. Right? That's always the worry.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What if they're like, whatever the next thing that we don't like is, you better not swords. I'm like, well, I have one tattooed on my arm. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do some. We'll just skip through some of them. Okay, abortion, reproductive protections have been a priority for lawmakers and Supreme Court. With that, they passed SB 345, which sets legal protections for healthcare providers who mail abortion pills and gender-affirming prescriptions out of state.
Oh, you're gonna love that one, Eric.
So this is like driving me bonkers. It allows physicians' assistants to do surgical abortions without the direct supervision of a doctor.
Oh, nice. Great.
What?
Yeah. Also, okay.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Anyways, I can't. This one's gonna make me really angry. Anyways, you can just like mail abortion pills and gender affirming prescriptions out of state. There's no problem with that anymore. So you don't even have to be seeing. So once again, they're like, oh, we're gonna do it for people who need it. That's the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
But it's people who need it. Their life's in danger. Oh, but we aren't even gonna see them as a patient. We're just gonna mail it out of state. Not a problem.
Wouldn't it be easier to just get them then over the counter if that's how this is going to be handled?
Right.
I mean, you would think.
It's at that point, it's even better.
Yeah.
At least maybe then you have to see a doctor.
Just do over the counter. I mean, why bother with this? Why?
That's insane.
Why?
The SB 43, the law expands who can be put into an involuntary hold to include those who are addicted to drugs or alcohol or who are unable to keep themselves safe.
What's the definition there?
Thank you. What's the definition of unable to keep themselves safe?
Yes.
Max can't keep
Oh, you
himself
don't
safe.
agree with what the state says?
That's not safe.
With what your leaders say?
I base my evidence on the data.
Okay, this one's very important, though. AB 1084, it requires retailers to have a gender-neutral toy
Now,
section.
This is absolute
Yeah.
bull crap.
Whoa,
I'm sorry.
time out. You're not allowed to have boy and girl toys. What
This is
kind
ridiculous.
of insane gender science binary man are you?
I didn't know that toy
shame on
sections.
me.
I didn't know that
Hey,
toy
use my
sections.
pronoun, all right? When you address me.
I can't even fathom
I did not know
this.
the toy sections
sorry.
were gender non-neutral. I mean, you know what? They're open. If you go look at whatever you want to look at.
They're saying that having
Right.
and it's my thing. I guarantee you that boys are still going to go after the action figures and the race cars.
Yeah, but here's the inherent
Yeah.
problem with that. How the heck do you classify Transformers and under this rule? I mean, where do you put the Transformers in this
No,
section
you don't
here?
put them anywhere. There's only what's going to
Okay.
happen.
Okay.
Stores are just going to have a toy section, and they're just
Okay.
going to put all toys in one area.
So you're going to have dolls
Okay.
with the Transformers.
Yes.
Everything's just all mixed
Okay.
in.
Everything's going to be mixed in. That's what they're going to have to do.
So they want to just confuse the heck out of everybody.
Yeah, or else they get charged. If I remember correctly, or else they get charged like $500 per store.
And the person-
per month.
Wow.
Week,
And
or
the person
something.
who signed off on this, just remember, folks, wants to run for your president of the United States.
base my evidence on the data.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a big fan of SB 244. I've been a big proponent of this for a long time. The Right to Repair Act, I think, is actually super important. It requires manufacturers of devices that cost more than $50 to at least have a way to repair a device.
So like cell phones.
Yes.
Laptop computers.
The idea is you can't just sell things that can't be repaired. Which the idea of like they just glue everything together and go, tough.
Yeah.
Now they're going to have to be able to say, but just keep in mind they have once again worked their magic.
Okay.
What they'll say is, and they will already have some of these things from states that sometimes I'll buy things from states that have right to repair, like purposely online, so I get it. And they'll send you the instructions, and the instructions are like, get a heat gun, gently go back and forth. Then get a spudger and put that in between and put 5 drops, no more than 5 drops of 99% isopropyl alcohol. 6 drops, and you'll blow up and die. But 5 drops, then you pry it apart. And it's like, okay, well, that's whatever. I mean, at least I was able to repair it.
I'll just buy a new one.
Right. Sorry, I cut you off, Jason.
No. I was just going to say, I work for a certain communications company that's in the home internet line of business. And whenever customers have a damaged internet gateway device, we do what's called a warranty exchange for them. The caveat to this warranty exchange is the customer is led to believe, not knowingly, that they're going to get a brand new device, when in actuality, because gateway devices are very expensive to manufacture, even for billion-dollar communication companies, they will sometimes send customers refurbished gateway devices that have previously been sent back. So that's where this bill is going to come in handy, because according to this, they're no longer, well, they'll still be allowed to do it, but just not in the scope of not in the grand scope of things the way they've been doing it as present.
Well, you think they'll have to disclose it to customers then, or
in terms and conditions? Yes, they will.
Yeah.
I would think so.
who reads those?
Nobody, based on the people I deal with on a daily basis.
SB 478, hidden fees no longer. Starting in July, it will require websites to show the actual cost of a service or item up front. This includes hotel or short-term rental stays, event tickets, and food delivery services. Which is, I guess that's fine.
Okay.
I have, once again, there's going to be ways around this. They're going to 1,000 times change it because they're going to say, well, but that was the item fee, but there's also so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. It's a surcharge.
Yeah. Miscellaneous
surcharge.
online protections. AB
I saw
5
this, yes.
requires social media companies to disclose how they address hate speech and disinformation.
Who cares?
This is BS. Because they have to take it, they have to report, they have to give reports to the state attorney general. Like, whoa.
Yeah. Oh, this person doesn't believe in our views, state attorney.
Yeah.
Sick 'em.
Daylighting crosswalks prohibits stopping or parking a vehicle within 20 feet of an intersection or crosswalk clear of parked vehicles.
Huh?
I don't actually even understand what this means, to be perfectly honest.
Prohibits stopping or parking a vehicle within 20 feet of an intersection or crosswalk clear of parked. What does this even mean?
I can't understand this.
This is very confusing.
It made sense to me if it said prohibit stopping or parking a vehicle within 20 feet of an intersection or crosswalk. But then it says clear of parked vehicles.
Okay.
I don't think I know English.
Let's go back to what was the previous one about the delirium, or what was that condition?
Excited delirium.
That's what this person, excited delirium, that's what this person is experiencing when they wrote this.
Right.
This makes no sense.
So wait, now is this law insinuating that there are parked vehicles in intersections and crosswalks, or is it insinuating that you should not park within 20 feet of an intersection or crosswalk? See, this still seems kind of ambiguous to me.
It literally, I can't make any sense of what that.
Yeah, this is so confusing and convoluted. You can't.
It sounds like an easy way to just start writing tickets.
That's what it is.
And then
Excuse me, sir. You know I pulled you over? No.
Right.
Well, I believe you stopped clear of parked vehicles.
Yeah.
I parked what? Clear of parked vehicles.
Yes.
Wait, what happened? You stopped within
And then they'll
20
say-
feet of an intersection that was clear of parked vehicles.
I don't understand. Well, go tell the judge.
Wait, I'm confused.
Actually,
I
I'm
did
at
what?
19.5 feet.
Yeah, it was. You were
measure it.
within 20 feet, sir, of
measure
that
it.
crosswalk over there, and it was clear of parked vehicles.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
And then keep cruising. Cities are not allowed to ban cruising on city streets. So
They can't ban it?
you're no longer allowed to ban cruising.
Blackstone, here we go!
Right.
I have actually a cool idea. What we're gonna do
Let's
is they
cruise
can't,
Blackstone.
They can't get us in trouble. So that's what I'm thinking. We're gonna go because my truck has a big speaker in the back, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna just go nice and slow down Blackstone, broadcast live. And
Oh,
blast
there
our
you go.
podcast up and
That's
down.
a good idea.
The traveling podcast.
There you
Oh,
go.
that would be
That's
awesome.
good.
And if they try to pull me over, I'm going to say, "Excuse me, officer, have you heard of AB 436?"
And then they're going to see, well, the noise ordinance is what we're getting you
And
under.
I'm going to say, Officer, if I noticed correctly, you just stopped 20 feet clear of parked vehicles. So,
Actually, officer,
Citizens arrest! Citizens arrest!
Actually, officer, I'm at 19.5 feet.
That's right.
Go ahead and cite that.
Yeah.
so should we just keep on going and do one long episode?
We could probably break it up into two. I'd like to do.
Should we?
Yeah. You got time? Has everybody got time?
We can do it, whatever. All right, guys.
Let's do it.
We're going to break this up. You guys hear that? It's the music. So
It's the
strange.
music.
All right.
It's been really nice hanging out with you guys. Also, remember, listen to PTI podcast. You can check that out on all the podcast stations.
Yeah, all the podcast apps, and
all
if
the
they
apps.
can also go to the website here.
Yeah, No Focus Radio is
No
right
Focus
there.
Radio, and it's
That's
right
at the top.
there.
Also,
Buy us a coffee.
please. Here's the thing, guys. We love coffee, and we don't have any more money. So if you don't mind, be great.
We're suffering from something delirium. What was
Yeah.
it called again?
Excited delirium.
Excited delirium because we have no coffee.
So, but really, I do appreciate you guys all listening. Also, I really, I'm thinking I might do something big. I might take us off Discord and put us on WhatsApp.
Wow.
I know, but I think a lot more people have it. So let me know if you guys are part of the show. If you like digging into these things and talking to us and chatting with us, shoot me a message on Discord, WhatsApp, or whatever. Any way you can get a hold of me. You can find us at nofocusradio.com. You can get a hold of me there. And just let me know. I'm thinking WhatsApp might be a better way to get people involved. Anyways, thank you all. I appreciate it. Adios.
Later.